It's the night before what would have been another thunder over Louisville, and the water is still high along the waterfront. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Jose Alonso. Doug Profit has the evening off. The city is looking to clean Waterfront Park in time for the Kentucky Derby next week. WHAS11's Night Team's Chloe Shaley and photojournalist Emma Gepter hear from businesses making the most of the cancellation.
The great lawn of Louisville's Waterfront Park, a catch-all of you name it from the flood. Debris, trash, even a boat brought in and left on the great lawn about 500 feet from the river line.
Benches are still covered, so yeah, there's still a lot of water to recede yet.
It's surprising for visitors.
Drove in, we saw so many things that were underwater, even thought about turning around.
Flood has left a pretty dirty waterfront, and Louisville's Mayor Craig Greenberg has an aggressive plan to get it cleaned up before the Kentucky Derby.
I know this cleanup effort is going to go well, and it's going to be back like this flood never happened in just a very short period of time.
With a deadline of 3 weeks.
It's doable. I think it's a lot of work, but who knows, 2-3 weeks, you get enough folks out here, I think they can get it done.
After flooding in 2018, it took about 6 weeks to clean up, but the city is lining up federal assistance and volunteers to speed up the process. Ben Jones at Better Days Records off Barrett Avenue is preparing for a busy Saturday with special releases coming out.
There were probably 200, 250 in the store. 250 people.
And wants to share in the revenue with food trucks, knowing how it feels to lose out on guaranteed business with Thunder over Louisville canceled.
So why not even give them a free place? See, that's the thing is give them a space where we know there's going to be not as many people as Thunder, but there will be several thousand people all day long.
Off Rubel Avenue, the view from the art gallery Quonset Hut won't be decorated with Thunder's fireworks show, but the annual celebration continues as planned.
Like you see all of your friends and neighbors that you haven't seen all winter. We just decided it's going to be a beautiful day, and after the winter and the rain that we've had, it's going to be really nice just to be outside and be with friends.
The music, staff, and food was already booked. Plus, it's another opportunity for people to take a look at the gallery. The city makes the most of the situation, while Thunder's location is still muddy and has more to come as the water recedes. In Louisville, Clarice Shaley, WHAS11 Night Team, on your side.
A cleanup of Waterfront Park is happening tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Volunteers are asked to meet at the Turf Mutt Great Lawn or Witherspoon Street. You're encouraged to wear long pants, sturdy closed-toed shoes, or boots. Masks and gloves are optional. Park staff will be available to help and provide supplies. Also impacted by floods, Buffalo Trace Distillery is assessing the damage. Now that floodwaters have receded enough to get back inside, the amount of damage is still being determined, and teams are inspecting every barrel affected. They are closing their doors through this Sunday and hoping to reopen next week. And on the other side of the Ohio River, Indiana Governor Mike Braun declared a state of a disaster emergency for 18 counties in Indiana. Local leaders say this opens up more funding for communities hit the hardest. But with the waters already starting to recede, some Hoosiers say the governor should have declared the emergency days ago. Town Board President of Utica, Indiana, Steve Long, says getting the phone call that they are now under an official state of emergency was the moment he was waiting for.
The state of Indiana is flooded from Lawrenceburg all the way below Tell City, and there's a lot of towns affected, and there's, I think we're going to reach the ceiling of money. These people need to get this FEMA and get this thing going.
He says before this, the burden fell on Clark County and the small town of Utica. He says 25% of the town has been evacuated from their homes. Some homes were flooded with anything from 2 inches of water to 10 feet of water. And while city crews continue to deal with the aftermath of flooding and cleanup, some car owners are also dealing with needed repairs due to the high waters. Small amounts of water can make a lasting impact on a car. A mechanic at a Bowling Green repair shop explained what you can do to prevent this kind of damage.
Anything electric, power seats, power windows, computer components, they're not water friendly. Drop your cell phone in a bucket of water, what happens? Might stay on for a minute, but eventually it'll go out.
If you're unsure if your car has water damage, mechanics advise you to look for signs like rusting and faulty windows or power seats. They also recommend getting your car checked out sooner than later to prevent further damage. And don't forget WHAS11 Special, Rising Above the Storm, a fundraiser for flood relief and the Thunder Spirit. That starts tomorrow at 6, tomorrow night. The money goes to the Louisville chapter of the American Red Cross. At 9:15 tomorrow night, we'll bring you the drone show. And then at 9:30, right when those Thunder fireworks would have been happening, we'd be bringing you vintage Thunder fireworks from several years ago, only right here on WHAS11 tomorrow. Make sure to tune in. And joining me now, Chief Meteorologist Mallory Chanel. Mallory, today was supposed to be a spring day, but it felt like winter to me.
Yeah, it's certainly chilly out there right now. As we both know, temperatures today only managed to make it up into the lower 50s. And of course, we dealt with that cloud cover for at least the first half of the day. We got a little bit of that late day sunshine, but not enough to warm us past the lower 50s. We made it up to 53 today, our average high 68. So we were 15 degrees below normal for this time of year. And temperatures out there this evening, some spots have already dipped down into the 30s outside of Louisville. Louisville, we're sitting at 47. That's at the airport. But take a look just to our south. 38 degrees in Shepherdsville, in Bardstown, Hodgenville, E-Town, Mumfordville, 39. You know it's going to be a chilly night. Max HG radar, all is dry. We're not tracking any kind of rain on the radar. That's far off to our southeast. But because those clouds did clear and we have some lighter winds out there, those temperatures will continue to plummet. So expect overnight lows in the 30s for pretty much all of us. Low to mid 30s by early tomorrow morning. And because of that, we do have a frost advisory in place. So you can see your hometown forecast for tonight. Many spots may dip down to near freezing, if not below freezing. Louisville Metro, we're likely talking those mid 30s, which is why we have that frost advisory in place from 2 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Saturday. So yes, very chilly. We're tracking a drier weekend though. Lots of sunshine returning tomorrow. So that should really help with our river levels. And we'll take a look at that forecast through the weekend coming up here in just a bit, Jose.
Thanks, Mallory. Make sure we keep those heaters on tonight. An Elizabethtown man has been arrested and charged with child sexual exploitation. According to Kentucky State Police, 31-year-old Joseph Bowling was arrested Thursday after an undercover investigation revealed he was sharing images of child exploitation online. Investigators say they seized equipment used to facilitate the crime and took it to a forensic lab for examination. Bowling is charged with 10 counts of distribution of matter portraying a sexual performance by a minor. He is currently booked into the Hardin County Detention Center. And we now know the ID of a man who died after his car ran off the road into a New Albany creek. Police say 62-year-old Curtis Franklin died after that accident on 10th and Market. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. Well, new tonight, after an announcement to build a data center in Oldham County, residents are fighting back. Western Hospitality Partners want to take over more than 267 acres on North Highway 53. They say the $6 billion investment is expected to bring an estimated $4 billion economic impact. Tonight, residents who live in the area gathered at LaGrange Church to voice their concerns about the project.
That we have not been included in any of these decision making, and there's a lack of trust with what is being told to the public, and we feel like we're being not told the whole story or being given an opportunity to be a part of the process.
Jim Urban, the former director of Oldham County Planning and Development and a current consultant on the project, says it will strengthen America's position as a global technology leader. A property tax increase could be on the way in Silver Creek, Indiana. On May 6, voters will decide if it goes through. The ballot question asks for approval of a 44% increase. Administrators and the school board want more space, hoping taxpayers approve the referendum for school expansions. However, other worry the building expansion won't reduce class size.
We have small groups instruction in both the elementary and the primary that are taking place in the hallways, and that is not the best place for your small group instruction.
We are overflowing our classrooms with students that don't even live in Sellersburg.
Silver Creek High School is hosting a public meeting with the superintendent next Thursday. That's April 17th. And today, the Kentucky Derby Trophy started making its appearance at local Kroger locations. Kroger is a partner with the Kentucky Derby, and they wanted to bring local shoppers opportunities to take photos with the trophy for the 151st run for the Roses.
You know, this is a huge part of being a Louisvillian, huge part of living in Louisville, and we love being able to share that Derby spirit all the time. At the Derby Museum, we say it's Derby every day, and so we're bringing the Derby out to you in your communities so you can celebrate with us.
Other chances to take pictures with the trophy are Tuesday, April 22nd at the Breckenridge location or Wednesday, April 23rd at the Shelbyville Road location.
Today, Danny Wimber Presents is announcing a 10-year commitment to Louisville. Let's give it up.
It's official. Louder Than Life plus Bourbon and Beyond aren't going anywhere. Louisville Tourism CEO Cleo Battle announced a long-term agreement to host the festivals at the Highlands Festival grounds. According to Louisville Tourism, both festivals are generated more than $33 million in economic impact for the city. Governor Andy Beshear says last year's festivals brought in a combined total of 360,000 people.
It's been called a must-see festival by outlets like Rolling Stone and Forbes. Last year, it broke every attendance record in the books for a music festival in Kentucky, making it the largest festival in our history. I don't want to see those numbers scare people off because there's plenty of room for more.
The first festival back in 2014 had 36,000 attendees. Last year was a record-breaking year with more than 70% of fans coming from outside the metro.